Hey,
Hey
Jeff,
mate, how you doing?
I'm okay. How you getting on?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Good stuff.
Not bad at all.
Good stuff. Hold on one
Let
second.
me get in there for you.
Okay, good stuff. Just making sure no one comes into the room.
Interrupts us. Yeah.
No, thanks a lot for this. I know the we've messed around and the times have changed and bits and pieces. But I just kind of wanted to just to kind of give you a bit of a summary about what I'm doing, and obviously I saw you, I met you at the crypto investor group and stuff. Um, so basically, we're part of a UK crypto group. We sometimes pull together resources to buy crypto.
Okay.
We investors, individuals for like ICOs. We're all like crypto enthusiasts, so we're either studying blockchain or something around the Internet of Things, or VR or AR and all that sort of stuff. So, but we're all part of like a bigger group. So we actually found ourselves through a Facebook group, um, which was mainly American. So the actual group was the size of it. The first one's 8,000 people, for instance, and then there's a bigger one which is about 75,000, which is, I think when I initially joined it in November, there was about 5,000, and it's all crypto people.
And it's all just grown from there.
Yeah, it's all gone from there. So it's kind of like we're just we're all into different things. So there's different ICOs we're interested in. I'm interested in mining. I'm interested in a load of stuff, but I'm interested in mining as well. So what I'd have to do, and that's why I had to put this thing on there to record, because I don't think many people are going to join now because it's moved around so many times. But I've sent them a message just to say I'll be speaking to you today, for 15 minutes or however long it is, and then I can at least send them the recording round, and then they can decide whether we want to have a discussion of pooling resources together to buy a rig, or or do it individually or not do it at all. So
Yeah, absolutely. Just to be clear, Ian, can you see my ugly mug at the moment? Because I'm not too familiar with Zoom
uh,
on mobile. I'm usually using it on desktop.
I can see your knee.
You can see my knee. Amazing. That's great. It's looks like the camera may need to swivel around.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, there
because
you go.
because because you've got the because you've got the placeholder on, so I can't see my video feed.
Yeah, no, I can see you now. That's cool.
Okay, right. Well, I'll just trust that you can see me. That's fine.
Yes, I know we've kind of been throwing questions back and forward, but because there's so much, it's hard to be everywhere at the same time, and that's what's kind of quite powerful about this group. Because other than a group would maybe review a white paper, and then they'll be able to say, look, this is what the white paper is all about, and then it kind of gives us, we don't have to spend our time working on the same paper. So we've kind of,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know what I mean?
And that's kind of why I do what I do within the mining space, because unfortunately there's so much BS out there, and a lot of people just have been fed information that's just wrong.
Yeah,
And the problem is with cryptos, I'm sure you and you guys that are watching this are all aware, is
yeah,
that it just moves so quickly.
yeah,
What was correct 6 months ago is now not correct today.
yeah.
So I kind of set up the company. Now we're the biggest in the UK, the biggest GPU
How are you? You're the biggest.
provider.
Bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty wild. Within 6 months we've gone from zero to hero. So that's kind of cool. But I think one of the reasons why we've done that is we're the only company in crypto hardware, full stop, that I'm aware of at least,
Yeah,
where we have real offices with real staff, where you can come and meet me, come and meet my team, come and see where your stuff's built. We'll show you around the entire products, and you can end up leaving the same day with
yeah.
the bit of equipment you've just bought.
I've got to say, I was actually trying to get up to you because you're up in Bury, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Manchester. Yeah, just north of
Yeah.
Manchester.
My wife's friend, I was trying to figure out where about in Bury, but she lives in Bury, but I don't know Bury. Do you know what I mean? I've been to
Right, it's not a massive place. You'd only be 5 minutes away.
yeah, so I was trying to get up just to, obviously just come in, because what we're finding, and I know you're obviously not an ICO, but the face of a lot of these crypto.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. There isn't a face.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah,
why
it's a bit. And that's what I like to do, because I mean, I think, you know, like I said, the reason why we've grown is well, hopefully we're doing a good thing with great products, but the way that a lot of our customers are, I would probably say, old money. You know, generally speaking, it's people kind of that on the larger scale, at least, are kind of 40, 50, 60, that have made money through traditional mechanisms, and want to invest that in something new. And there is no tangibility in the crypto space by the very nature of it being crypto. You know, you can't touch it. So what people end up coming and seeing is, I can actually buy a load of really top-end computer equipment that, even if crypto blows up tomorrow, is still worth a good chunk of cash. I like that, you know, and that kind of real tangibility in a marketplace that is by definition intangible offers a lot of comfort for people, and also not only psychologically but financially a very, very sound investment.
So just a little bit about you more than anything. I mean, you know, you've set this company up. You've got a showroom and everything. Easy Crypto Hunter.
Yep.
How did you get into this? I mean, what's your kind of background and stuff?
To be honest, too many late nights on YouTube.
Seriously.
That is the answer. Yeah. So only 12 months ago I was at university finishing my degree. Yeah. And you know, I'm a little bit older than most grads that pop out of uni. I actually did a 2-year voluntary service mission before I went to uni. So kind of wanted to, you know, use the brain that I was blessed with to get some good grades. But, you know, as I'm sure a lot of you guys that are watching have realised, going to university to study business academically is, you know, somewhat questionable. So, you know, I went there, had a great time, got a first class degree from one of the best unis in the country. But I always knew I was going to do my own thing. And I've done lots of different kind of companies and businesses in the past, and the more I got into crypto, the more excited I became, because it wasn't just something that was a flash in the pan, so much as something that I can base my career in. You know, and ultimately, you know, mining rigs at the kind of simplest form are money-making machines, which is wild. You know, that's crazy. You know, who wouldn't want a money-making machine? It sounds too good to be true, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of just sweat away and kind of taught myself how to build one, because they're not easy bits of kit to build. And then, you know, I managed to see, you know, I thought, well, what happens if I sell it? See if I can make some money. And I did. And then 1 became 2, became 3, became 4, became the biggest company in the UK doing this.
Right. Okay. So did you? I mean, is it just you that set it up, or do you have any?
Yeah. No. All off my own little back. So I just started with a bit of a $5 in my back pocket, and off we went. It was, you know, that classic. Okay. Off you go. So now we've got. I think we've got three offices and 3 staff now.
Right. Okay. Well, all in Manchester, all in Bury.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So it's just you. There's no other stakeholders involved. You just
100% in Josh's pocket, which is nice. I mean, lots of people now are obviously trying to give me money hand over fist. There's a lot of people that want to buy some equity and kind of get involved and do different things, but it's actually a very curious business because the machines are so profitable. If someone came and bought 100 grand worth of my company, in a lot of instances, they might actually do better financially buying 100 grand of equipment off me, which is kind of crazy. So it's a very interesting mechanism for growth. And that's kind of how we work. You know, a lot of people say, you know, if these machines are so great, Josh, why the heck do you sell them? And the honest answer is we make a little bit of money on each one. And then in turn, that grows our own facilities and our own capabilities to mine.
Yeah. And okay, so you're obviously mining yourself as well as.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that obviously that makes sense. I mean, so how long has it been running for? How long has Easy Crypto been running for?
The business registered on the 1st of September 2017, and then we only took the first payment through the company November the 14th. So really not very long at all, and we've grown. We've ridden the wave of crypto, and we've kind of found ourselves now, you know, speaking at the crypto show in London as the UK mining experts and kind of doing all these interviews and media stuff. And, you know, I just think I think people really appreciate having a face to put to all of this. And just, you know, at the end of the day, you can buy some stuff off us. And if you have any questions, you can give us a call or come and see us. and that just doesn't exist in crypto.
Yeah.
And I think people just enjoy that, and it's a service I'm happy to offer, because ultimately I want my customers, to come and get their hands on some good equipment. And I appreciate, what we do is the top end stuff. We specialize in the premium end. It's not cheap stuff, but it's not cheap because of what it's able to do. So if I was going to spend a good few £1,000s of my money in someone else's business, I'd expect, the same service that I'd like to think we give. So it's just about doing things the way that this should be done. And that seems to have hit a tone with our customers. And here we are chatting away, hopefully, going to persuade some more people to come join the team.
So you said that it's the top end, so it's the premium end of hardware. So can you break down how much it is, or the different types of rigs that you have?
So as you, I'm sure you guys that are watching this are all aware, GPU mining, graphics processing card mining, is effectively as powerful as the cards that you're using. So you can get lots of different types of graphics card, and the more powerful the card is, the more crypto you're able to earn. Right. On its base level, but it's a bit more complex than that. So a lot of people that are mining, and this is where one of the many misconceptions come into, are very much based with RX AMD cards. So you're probably familiar with, mining for Ethereum. That's a very, big thing that people did in the last 12 months. So people have gone out and in the last few months spent thousands of pounds on RX AMD cards, which are very good at mining Ethereum. Yeah. However, we moved to the total other end of the market. We use the top end stuff. So we only really use the 1080 Ti, which is the world's most powerful gaming graphics card. Right, okay. And the reason for that is actually, yes, my machines can mine Ethereum, but I'm not remotely interested in Ethereum, because on average Ethereum kind of falls somewhere around the 20th most profitable coin to mine with such a powerful setup.
Right. Okay.
So it really opens up the doors for a lot of different coins. What people fail to understand is that they just, people always try to compare power of equipment, and generally that's done in mega hashes.
Yeah.
So maybe some of your guys like, oh, how many mega hashes is your machine? Again, that's comparing oranges to apples, because yes, bang for your buck wise, it would be cheaper to get more mega hashes on some type of Ethereum mining equipment than mine. However, what people fail to understand is that there's about 15 core algorithms which crypto is programmed in, 15 languages, if you would, a bit like we've got Windows and Linux and Mac. The different cryptos are programmed in different languages. So when you're comparing the speed of equipment, it's very important you're comparing the speed of that particular algorithm. So for example, mega hashes, as people like to use for Ethereum, one of these RX cards, you'll get 30 mega hash out of one of those cards.
Okay.
And a 1080 Ti, you'd get 37. Now, 1080 Ti is better, but it's twice as expensive. Yeah. So people will go, oh, well, I'll just buy 2 RX cards then, Josh. Your equipment's rubbish. What are you selling that for? But what they don't realize is that there are many other algorithms out there, such as Equihash and Lara 2v2, which power coins such as Zcash, Zencash, Bitcoin Gold, Verge, which has had a big surge today. Yeah. And the 1080 Ti, particularly with Lara, is 4 or 5 times more powerful. Wow. With Equihash, it's 2.5, 3 times more powerful. So it's very important that people understand, the wider baseline of the cryptocurrency space. And there's also a lot of new algorithms that have just come. There's a new algorithm that's just been developed called X16R, which is a rotational algorithm. So unlike just mining on one type of algorithm, like we currently have for the majority of the coins such as Raven coin, which is now gaining quite a lot of popularity, the algorithm actually rotates between lots of different formats. So by using a card like a 1080 Ti, which is the single most powerful card for every single algorithm, you end up being completely flexible, completely secure, and absolutely smash and dominate in these new types of coins. And there's a very good likelihood that because of all this ASIC kind of, Bitmain trying to take over the world, that a lot of the new coins are going to be based on these rotational algorithms to kind of empower GPU miners to always be protected. So, a lot of what we do is try to educate people to this type of stuff, because the average person, even if you're quite well into crypto, doesn't really understand this stuff because it is fairly technical. But if you're going to spend a lot of money, then I believe it's my responsibility to educate people to make the best choices possible.
And I suppose as well, when I say maybe I can't speak for everyone, but I know that if I'm going to spend a lot of money, and it's certainly going to be mining equipment, I have to understand it, because I was just listening to a podcast earlier, and they were talking about hackers and all this other different bit, and you have to protect yourself even after you've mined. You've mined these coins. I know we'll go into it and kind of how it kind of works. But you still have to be able to. You need to make sure you don't lose what you've taken so much money and effort in order to gain. So with the actual rigs then. So there's remember there was 6, wasn't there?
So our most popular product, kind of 95, probably 97% of what we sell, is a 6-card 1080 Ti rig.
Okay.
So that's 6 of the world's most powerful cards strapped together, and then we optimize that. So we kind of make things super simple for people. So we run the machines in Windows 10. So each individual rig is an entire computer. You can plug a mouse, monitor, and keyboard into it. It just boots into Windows just like you'd expect. Okay. You can even go on Google on the thing if you want to. And ultimately, there's kind of lots of different ways to run this bit of equipment, and that's why it's so powerful. Unlike ASIC mining, where you just stuck mining one coin, with GPU, you've got entire control and flexibility over any coin. So a lot of what we do to get people started is we pre-install a software called NiceHash.
Okay. Oh, you still there?
It's the most profitable altcoin.
Sorry, Josh, you just cut out a little bit there. I think it might be my my internet. Hold on a sec.
You the best prices for what you're mining.
Hold on, Josh, can you hear me?
Be a way for people to run things straight out the box.
Yeah, do you know what, Josh? You cut out there for the last 30 seconds. I think I think my internet my internet, my broadband's been very unstable the last few days. So the last 30 seconds, I was trying to talk to you, kind of froze on screen.
Okay.
So if you
I was just talking to you about NiceHash. So there's lots of different ways to run this bit of equipment. So I like to refer to the rigs as the Swiss Army knife of the mining world.
Okay.
They can kind of do anything you want them to because they're so powerful.
Right.
So with that, there's kind of different ways to run the machine. There's kind of 2 main approaches. You can use some auto mine software that we kind of pre-install with all our equipment, which is called NiceHash, which basically scans your hardware, scans the whole cryptocurrency altcoin space, and will jump around and mine the most profitable coin at that moment in time.
Okay.
It will then pay you in Bitcoin.
Right. Okay.
So you just turn the thing on, leave it running, and you get paid so much value per day in Bitcoin, which is easy, very easy.
Okay.
The other alternative is, of course, you can make the machine mine an individual coin and just hold lots and lots of that coin.
Okay. So could it mine multiple coins instead of it converting it to Bitcoin, and you just have those multiple coins?
Yeah, so with the auto miner, you don't have a choice, you just get paid in Bitcoin.
Okay.
If you so wished, you could make this machine mine, Verge coin, then the next day make it mine Zen Cash, then the next day make it mine Zcash. You can make this machine do whatever you want it to do.
Right.
So you might have a really good coin that you think is going to be big in the future, and you can mine loads of it.
Right. Okay.
Or you could just mine today's most profitable coin, which I think at the moment is Verge coin. So you could just mine today's most profitable coin to maximize today's dollar value. Or you can mine a much smaller coin, hoping that it's going to moon in the future. It's ultimate flexibility, and that's what a lot of my customers like.
Okay, that's good. It's a funny thing you talk about Verge because I mean, I've been hearing that they got hacked, and
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I
they did. Yeah, yeah,
so I don't. I mean, okay, look. I suppose with this crypto stuff, no one really knows what's going on. You know,
yeah,
there's all this what they call it technical info, and then you've got funding.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
How the hell is that? How the hell is that price of Verge going up?
Well, today, the reason why it's gone up today is because there's just been an announcement, and I'm quite surprised by the announcement. But now Pornhub, as in the porn website,
Yeah.
has now made them an official payment partner.
What?
Yeah, seriously. Because it's an anonymous coin, I don't know why the heck they've teamed up with them rather than Zcash or, one of the many other anonymous payments. But yeah, they've gone for Verge. So now one of the biggest porn websites in the world, you can buy all your whatever you want for in Verge coin, which is kind of wild.
My goodness.
Yeah,
That must have just been in the making then. That must have just been
yeah,
in the background, and I don't know how they managed to hold on to that. My goodness.
yeah. So that's quite an interesting development. So yeah, so you can mine Verge or you can do other things. So I'm personally mining a lot of Raven coin at the moment because it's a very small coin that's got a lot of backing, and it's already made a lot of people extremely wealthy because you can jump on a small coin as soon as it comes out, mine a crap ton of it, and then once it hits an exchange, it's Lambo time.
Yeah. Bloody hell. So with the rigs, the top end is how much?
We sell those for £10,000 a rig at the
Okay.
moment.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, because we're a UK business, that does include VAT.
Okay.
So the majority of our customers are VAT registered and are able to claim that back.
Okay. So other than the 10 grand, do you have another or other options?
Yeah, we basically just have, so that's a 6 card rig.
Yeah.
We do also make a 2 card and a 4 card rig,
Okay.
which are 3.5 and then 7.5, and
Okay.
then 10 for the bigger. So obviously, the more you spend, it just makes more financial sense for you to go for the 6 card option.
Right. Okay. Are there any? Do you get any discounts for buying in bulk?
Yes, they start from 10 rigs plus.
Right. So you've got to put down 100,000 before
Yeah.
you can even have a conversation. Okay. And the discounts involved?
It's on a sliding scale, so it really depends on past that point. But basically, past 10 rigs, each subsequent bit of equipment becomes cheaper.
Okay. So say for instance, I wanted to buy one of the rigs, and I said, you know what, Josh, I really want to buy this. I've got my 10 grand. Can I? Is there an option? Although I've bought the equipment, if I'm not happy with it after, I don't know, a couple of days, or let's just say a week, is there an option for you to buy it back, or for me to trade it back? Do I have, or is that not there, or do I just have to go and sell that myself?
Yeah, there isn't. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of what we offer as a proposition, in the fact that you own that equipment entirely. So
Okay.
unlike Genesis Mining or any of the cloud mining companies where you don't own anything,
Yeah.
you own this equipment 100% yourself. We don't take commissions. We don't take cuts. We're not stealing a little bit of your mining power on the side. It's entirely your bit of kit.
Yeah.
So if, in 6 months' time, if you decide you don't want to mine anymore, then, when you buy this off us, you get all the boxes brand new. Everything comes with it. There's nothing stopping you just selling this stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go, oh, yeah, but everyone's selling the mining stuff. Like, there won't be a market for it. Again, this is why we use the 1080 Ti stuff, because the 1080 Ti stuff is not the most common mining card, because it is more premium, but it's the only graphics card in the world that you can play 4K high definition games on.
Yeah.
So it will always be the most desirable bit of equipment on that market and hold its asset value proportionally better than a lot of other cards.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I've just got a couple more questions for you, and there's kind of two main ones. No, in fact, there's three. So for people that have already bought the rigs off you, is there a way? Is there like a testimonial?
Yeah, we've got loads of testimonials on the website. Yeah.
Okay. So that's easy. And from those testimonials, are they people that can be contacted later?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can give them a call yourself.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Okay. Just give me a reminder of the website.
It's www.untitled easycryptohunter.co.uk.
.co.uk. All right, top man. Okay, so I know the main thing around mining has always been around the usage. It's always been around the electricity usage.
Yep.
So with one of these rigs, I know this might be very difficult to pin it down, but just approximately, from one of the 10K rigs, how much roughly would that be in electricity on a monthly basis?
Well, the good news is that's not a difficult question. It's a very simple question because it's the standard usage. So it uses 1,300 watts constant draw.
Okay.
So to put that in perspective, a hairdryer uses 2,000, a vacuum cleaner uses 3. So that's kind of where it is. Now, of course, you are using it 24 hours a day. So on average, that works out around £3.50 a day per machine, per 6-card, 10 grand rig.
Okay.
So in a month, that's about 130 quid on UK domestic rates.
Okay.
And if you're running this in an office or a business and you get commercial electric with claiming VAT back, it's £108 a month. So 130 quid for domestic, 108 quid for business.
Right, okay. All right, that's pretty good.
So so obviously in regards to kind of earnings and that type of stuff, this is where it gets quite complex because a lot of people say, oh, how much is it earning per day? Which is an interesting question because everybody always wants the value in pounds, but yet is interested in buying a machine that produces crypto, which I always find quite curious. Because ultimately you shouldn't really care how much pounds it's making a day to day so much as how many satoshis are you gaining.
Yeah.
You know, that's really where you should be. But for those people that like to work in pounds within this market, again, it's very difficult to say. So in January, one of these machines was making over, £1,300 to £1,500 a month profit. It was ludicrous.
Yeah.
And today, one of these machines is making maybe £400 a month. But what people fail to understand is the amount of crypto being mined is actually very similar.
Right. Okay.
So the only difference between the revenues is obviously the market value of the products that you're mining.
I mean, I've never really got my head around how much Bitcoin, but as in pounds or in dollars or in euros, it seems like a ludicrous question, really, because with it going up and down and how volatile it is.
It's all over the place, yeah. So I mean, it works both sides as well. So, if in January, for example, one of these machines was making over 50, 60 quid a day, in pounds and pence, which is wild. But actually, today, it was only making maybe 20 quid a day because Bitcoin's 3 times lower than it was.
Yeah, I'll tell you what then, let me just quickly check something, because this was something that I kind of wanted to check. I mean, can you see the screen at the moment? Let me just see if I can.
Vaguely, you're quite small, but that's okay.
Okay, so kind of what I've got on the screen here is.
Oh yeah, the Bitcoin thing. Yeah, I got that.
Okay, so you've got the 0 point, and then you've got the 8 zeros.
Yep.
So I suppose this is where the average kind of comes in per month.
Yep.
So with regards to the 8 zeros, roughly, and I know it's very roughly, and it's going to be.
So the best way to work it out is just because Satoshis get quite confusing, because the thing is it depends what you're doing. This is why it's difficult, because it depends how you're using the machine. So if you're mining, a crap ton of Raven coin or Verge coin, then you wouldn't be able to give a Bitcoin figure unless you sold it at that respective day, at that respective time, or that respective place.
Right.
But of course, if you're using the auto miner where you're getting paid Bitcoin daily, then the best figure that I can give you is if we take the rolling average of the last 4 months of mining.
Yeah.
So when you were earning 70 quid a day in January and when you were earning 10 quid a day a few weeks ago when the market was flat, on average-ish, give or take, it kind of works out roughly around £30 per day over the last quarter.
Right.
So £30 per day in Bitcoin would probably be a fair estimation of what that has produced.
So if you're okay, so with the nice hash, it's converting the most profitable coins into Bitcoin. So the actual, I suppose the actual Satoshi itself wouldn't change, would it? With the
it's basically just dependent upon that day's dollar value between the two coins. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it basically, yeah, it almost effectively sells what you've mined for a dollar and then buys Bitcoin. It doesn't actually do that at a technical level, but that's the best way to understand it.
Right. Okay. So this is where I'm. This is the bit where I'm kind of. This is kind of the difference between me pulling the money out of my pocket and, do you know what I mean? Because I suppose, I mean, I'm not an accountant. I do work for an accountancy firm, and I kind of, that's kind of how I see things. So when, you know, in the past where people have talked about, yeah, they want to know how much it is in pounds. For me,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense to me. All I know,
No.
you, in order to get to 1 Bitcoin, you got to get past the 8. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a decent amount. You know, you're talking like you're always in the second digit easily. You're not talking, you know, peanuts. That you are making some decent money a day on these things.
Yeah.
You know, I think the lowest I've ever seen it is about £10 a day.
Yeah. Okay.
So even then, if you're only paying £3 a day in electric, you know, you're still doing pretty well, because it's not about, okay, so today I earned 10 quid and I earned 10 quid in Bitcoin, but right now the market's, you know, not that impressive.
Yeah.
But what's 10 quid of Bitcoin going to be in 18 months time?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then the question is okay, it cost me 3 quid to run a machine. I tripled my profit on that day back in 2018, but actually now it's 2020 and 10 quid of Bitcoin now is actually worth 50 quid, 100 quid then.
Yeah.
So then it becomes, would I have left a machine on 18 months ago for 50 quid? Yes, you would.
Okay. So another question then around, you've now managed to mine the coins. It's been converted into Bitcoin, and now it's sitting on, you know, on the drive or the drives.
Yeah, it sits on an online wallet, so a NiceHash online wallet, if you choose to use it that way. And NiceHash actually has a free partnership with Coinbase, so there's zero transfer fees between the two, which is quite cool.
Okay. So does that mean with the partnership that you could, if you wanted to cash out, you could quite easily transfer
Yeah,
directly to
absolutely.
Coinbase? Okay. All right. Okay. And then,
Yeah, you could do. Yeah.
right. So, right. Okay. So
So,
what would
so
you suggest would be the best way of
well, it really depends on kind of how serious you are, because there's different ways to play the game. So, for example, obviously, you know, without getting too technical, obviously we know that everyone's mining in pools, and you can find block rewards. So everyone knows Bitcoin's block reward is every 10 minutes, and every 10 minutes, 12.5 Bitcoins are found.
That's right.
So on the smaller coins, the newer coins, you know, their block reward might be every 1 minute, and maybe 5,000 coins are found. And the beauty of it is, when you've got a bit of kit this powerful, is if you jump on a brand new coin, you can actually start solo mining, and you can actually hit those blocks. And instead of just getting a little slice from the big pool, you can roll the dice. And if you find the block, you get a massive wad of coins.
Okay.
So, you know, that can be done, you know, with some difficulty at one machine, but by the time you start scaling up and you've bought 10 machines, you can be the absolute monster of power on a lot of these smaller coins, you know. So I'm mining Raven coin now, and I actually have a friend in the mining world, and he was mining the first week that Raven coin was around, you know, and I'm mining now. One of these machines is maybe mining 400 or 500 Raven coin a day. He managed to acquire 500,000 in 1 week from one rig. Like, it was just stupid, you know. So
What's the price of a Raven coin? Just
about 4 cents.
right. Okay. Bloody hell.
Yeah. So, but it's 4 cents now, and it's on two tiny little weenie exchanges, and it's a very good coin that will, without question, get listed on the big ones.
Jesus.
So you know, you can do really, really well mining the smaller stuff as well. You know, and obviously a lot of these smaller coins have nodes as well, master nodes, so you can mine enough to hold a master node for the future. Like Smart Snow Gem is a new example of that. So once you've got a machine like this, yes, you can just leave it on auto miner and kind of just take the best kind of top coins of the day, and you'll still do very, very well doing that. You know, we do that as well, and our customers do that, but you don't have to. And ultimately, it is, like I said, the Swiss Army knife. You've got total control, total flexibility. You can chase the smaller coins. You know, you can have a day on this coin, a day on that coin, a day on the other coin, or you can just leave it on one coin and just forget about it for a few months. And every instance that you do that, you end up with the proposition, which is if, God forbid, crypto blew up tomorrow, you're sat on a good stash of money in the physical equipment that you've purchased.
Yeah.
Because a 1080 Ti right now is worth £850,000 each.
Right.
You know, in 6 months' time, it's still going to be 500 quid all day with your eyes closed. So actually, the true return on investment actually comes from when you've mined enough crypto to effectively cover depreciation, which on the calculations based upon previously of around £30 a day that I estimated, is only around 160, 170 days, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's at stagnant levels of crypto. You know, if we end up back at 20K, then those numbers just get blown out the ballpark.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So just to give an example of my typical customer, I mean, a lot of my typical customers, weirdly enough, happen to be property developers, because property developers understand the emotional economics. So they're very used to using large amounts of cash to hold in an asset, the same way the machine itself is an asset. In houses. They love the passive income because they usually used to rent, and they love the appreciation value of the house as the appreciation of the crypto. So a lot of my big customers are property developers, because if they've got a spare house or a tenant that's just come to the end, you know, why would you spend £100,000 on a house and get maybe 6-7% yield a year if you're lucky, when you can spend £100,000 with me and get 8 to 10% per month?
Yeah. So they'll just fill the house with
Well, that's what they do, exactly that. I even have a property pack, which is 16 rigs, which is the most you can get in a typical UK house. And people just put a couple of rigs all around an empty house, and then all of a sudden they're earning thousands of pounds of crypto a month. Happy days.
And these rigs, and I remember I was quite shocked actually when I saw you at the crypto show. They're not that loud, are they?
Oh, it's virtually silent. Yeah, everybody when they think of mining thinks of ASIC mining, which is a whole different ball game entirely.
Yeah.
You know, you go deaf stood next to one of those things. You know, I work in my office with 20 of them at the other side of the room and don't even know they're on.
Yeah. Okay.
And obviously, because, you know, we're fully UK registered and it's all a tickety-boo company, you get 12 months warranty on all your products. So if anything was to die a few months in, you know, just give us a shout and we'll get it sorted for you. So, you know, people end up with, you know, a good bit of kit that's going to last them a while. And we help hold the hand through the education process and make sure that they know what they're doing and get some good value out of that product.
All right, that's brilliant. Well, look, Josh, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, because, you know, not everyone's as transparent as you. It's really good to, because, you know, this isn't. I do get to speak to as many people as possible, especially through ICOs. A lot of people don't want to put their face out there. They'll rather just find an email or you know, Telegram or whatever it is. So
no, look, if I'm going to take 10 grand off you, you know, I'm at least going to do the decency of showing you who I am.
Yeah, no. I really appreciate that. So just for the website, easycryptohunter.co.uk.
Yep, that's right.
How else, other than that, how else can people get hold of you? Is there like an email address?
Yeah, go on the website. We've got an email address on there. People can drop us an email or just give the office a call.
Right. Okay. All right. That's brilliant. Well, look, again, thanks a lot for your time. It's been
no problem.
Very, very. You've got me with my hand on my cash here, Josh. And
that's all right. Well, don't worry. We accept crypto as payment, of course. We take credit card as payment, bank transfer as payment, PayPal as payment, or you can turn it with cash. Right. You know, whatever you want to do, we make life easy. So a lot of customers enjoy buying products in crypto as well. Okay. You know, so whatever customers want to do, we'll help facilitate that.
One last thing: do you have to order these rigs?
This is the best bit, because we're at the scale that we are. The last thing you want to do is go, all right, Josh, you convinced me. Let's get a rig. Brilliant. I want to move ahead. The last thing you want me to turn around is say, thanks, Ian. That'll be 6 weeks wait, mate. Right. If you transferred me that 10 grand now, Ian, you could come and pick that up off me 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Right. Okay. So it's there ready and waiting.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's providing we've got the stock, but a lot of the time we do. So I know at the moment we're carrying around maybe 10 to 15 units on rotation.
Right. Okay.
So even outside of that, you're talking maybe 5-day turnaround time. We do things very quickly because every day you're not mining is money lost.
Exactly. And you would deliver as well.
Yeah, we usually advise people to come and see us and pick stuff up just because, you know, it's nice to meet us, and we're happy to show you around and make sure you're comfortable with operating the rig itself. Even though it's super simple, it's nice to have someone to show you exactly what's what. But if that's not an option, we can happily deliver it to you, and it just boots up straight out the box.
Okay. All right, that's brilliant. Look, Josh, thanks again. Really nice talking to you. It would be good to maybe catch you, I don't know, at the end of the year. You will see me pop in Bury at some point, because I am due to be up in Manchester for work soon enough. So I'll slide over and show my face and say hello. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And
no, that's perfect, Ian. And for you guys that are maybe watching as well, it's probably fair I tell you about the referral scheme as well. Okay. We have a very powerful referral scheme. So if anyone directly brings someone to us, we offer both a cash incentive and a discount for those two respective parties. So we always like to help crypto spread the word, get as many people as involved as possible. And I'll be more than happy to honour that for yourself, Ian, and for obviously everybody watching.
Okay, well, brilliant. Well, look, if you could, whatever the referral is, because we'll have a chat afterwards. Because what I've found is that when I've had this conversation with different, founders and CEOs and what have you, I might say to them, is it okay to put this on LinkedIn, or which the majority of them is a bit of a no-brainer for them, because it kind of gets quite a few views and what have you. So it might be an idea to maybe put a referral on there, but we can talk about that.
Whatever works for you guys, it's no problem. We're happy to discuss that. That's no problem.
Okay. All right then. Cool. All right. Well, look, Josh, you enjoy the rest of your evening.
No, we'll do. That's great. Thanks very much, Ian.
Yeah. No worries. Thanks a lot.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Bye.